Hello, welcome back to another Weekend Link video. First couple games, first seven. First 7 games was 7-0. As expected, first games are, obviously a little bit easier. Getting into the next set here, teams are a little bit more settled. Main additions, I didn't really talk about the team too much. Konate this weekend, I didn't face too many, despite talking only about the aerial meta in the first episode. I didn't really face too many aerial players, but Konate is definitely much better for corners than I've had in the past. And we've been trying out the new Okocha. He got replaced pretty quickly by Oyarzabal again. Or Oyarzabal? Should I do the TH thing? Anyway, who was probably my player of the weekend, honestly, Oyarzabal. But beyond that, Danny Olmo coming in a little bit, trying out the midfield spot. He was actually really good too, lacking a little defensively, of course, but the passing play style. Oh, what was that goal? Lacking some defensively, but the passing play styles are just so, unfortunately, abusable, really. It's just when you've got them, you can really go for passes you shouldn't be able to, and it's a little upsetting that that's how this game works, but that's what it is, so here we are. Kimmich at right back instead of Calhanoglu, as it's been for a little bit. It's all fine. At this point of the year, it doesn't even matter that much. So 4-1, I'm really winning my games anyway, and we're going to talk about the goals we're seeing here, don't worry. I don't think it matters too much. Like, I'm going to win most of these games anyway. It's just kind of who you prefer over anyone else. Like, almost good. Navas is good. The new Bump Pass store I've tried out a little. She's good. Modric SBC is good. Who to use out of any of them? I really can't say. It's all kind of the same at this point. Just kind of, do you want X playstyle or Y playstyle? This weekend was the least pretty I've played for a while. I really struggled this weekend. I'm not sure why. Like, tactics remained the same, team was pretty much the same. I just didn't have space to generate anything. I guess it's just more and more people figuring out the 100 depth kind of thing. I also kind of lack some of the creativity, I'll be honest. I get in this mindset of just going forward, and that's kind of where the issue is. If you go back sometimes, you actually draw out players, you generate a little more space, you're opening things up a bit more. I think you see in a lot of these clips, it's like, just go forward, and there's somebody ahead of you, and just pass it to them, go forward, and just, kind of play on autopilot. Or if I actually start moving around and trying to drag opponents out, then that's when, during the games where I'm trying to only score nice goals, that's where I generate all the space for Neymar in the center, is not just going forward and then going forward, because you're kind of making your midfield and your offensive line press forward and just get on the opponent's 2 defensive blocks. But if you actually go back a little bit, then you're generating a little verticality. Speaking of verticality, first episode we talked only about the aerial meta. I wanted to continue that a little bit here and discuss why the game is like this. So I think for the last 6 games we'll do a little bit more commentary on the actual matches, but for now I just kind of want to talk about the game again. So why have EA decided that this is what EAFC 24 is? My issue for FIFAs for the past while, it's pretty wide-ranging. Like, we've got... I guess we'll actually pause this conversation a little bit, because this game's almost over, and I just want to show off the absurdity of games like this. The fact that you can lose these matches for just the wildest kind of goals you can concede. Like, every single one of these chances, let's go through. Every single one of these chances is like a deflection or a saved shot that falls back or something I did well enough to defend and didn't. I get my fair share of stuff too. Like this one you see, kind of a lucky tackle. I get it. But then every other goal is like, clearly should have tackled there, and then I get bumped off the ball somehow by a 6'4" strong anticipate plus defender. I don't get it. Every other goal in this match was a rebound, and of course the replay doesn't show the one I wanted to show off the most, which was the just ridiculous own goal. But you saw that in the clips. It's about a minute or two ago now, and just Why a game? Like, at least I'm going up the other end and scoring. It'd be more frustrating otherwise, but just let me have my, like, I don't know, when you press the tackle button, just have it work. It's not that hard. I'd rather, I guess, miss the tackle than keep getting these successful ones that just bounce around and then put me in a worse position. That's really the frustrating thing, I think. It's one thing if you just miss, if you perform the tackle and the game decides your stats weren't good enough to perform it in that case or whatever it is, but when the game's like, no, you successfully tackled the ball, you just tackled it into the defender or into the attacker, and then the ball bounces around and then your defender is completely out of the play, like falling over, and the attacker just walks away easily with the ball. Like, either have it work, have it don't work, or just have it be neutral and just let us try to tackle again, or, put me in a position still goal side of the ball and we just decide what play to do next. But don't have it be all these things where the game decides, no, you did a successful defensive interaction, but also we're going to have it fail for some reason and compromise your entire defense now, and now you're conceding. Come on. I guess the other frustrating part is just like, yeah, I get like 2 or 3 of those goals in this match maybe, but my other 3 or whatever are fine, and every single goal from the opponent has something about it. Like, I can't concede one decent goal. Sigh. Still won this match, so it doesn't matter, but this is just one of those things I feel we've got to talk about this year. Anyway, back to, so I guess talking about FIFA, what this game has been for a little bit here, like for the past couple of years. My issue with FIFA, aside from inconsistent gameplay and like body types and the kinds of players they're releasing, like the main issue aside from all of that, like, I wish they wanted the game to be something else. I wish they wanted it to be a fast-paced, skill-based game. It isn't. That's not what they're going for, so whatever. But then every year we've got a meta. There's always, and I don't remember what corresponds which year, which meta, but like driven shots are the meta, or long finesse shots are the meta, and then it was like FIFA 19 was aerial flick-ups and turnaround 180 shots, and everyone's doing L tornadoes and whatever to get the ball in the air, and then doing ridiculous volleys from weird angles on the pitch, like angles the side of the box where you should be crossing from or shooting. I don't know what was going on that year. And then it's La Croqueta cancels, and then it's directional nutmegs, and then it's Travellas, and then we had something else, and then they always take it away. Directional nutmegs, they just, like, they were in the game, they were too good. Like, the year they introduced them, they're too good, and then the next year, they're not worth using at all, and then the year after that, like this year, they're not even directional nutmegs anymore, they're just additional skill moves. La Croqueta cancels are silly and ridiculous and not a skill move I've ever seen performed in real life by any player. And then they completely get rid of it, so you can't do it anymore. It's not like they make it decently okay. They just remove it. Travellas were like really good, and now I haven't seen anybody do them in like 5 or 6 months here, probably, maybe longer. The issue with FIFA in the past has always been like, we have a meta, and the problem isn't just that this thing is good and this thing is the best thing to do, it's that this thing is the only thing to do. And normally when they remove that meta, they don't leave us with something else. It's one thing to get rid of flick around turn-up shots, or get rid of driven shots that are too powerful, whatever have you, and then like get rid of it, quote unquote, by making something else better. Like, if driven shots are too good, if Travellas are too good, make finesses better, make normal shots better, give us another shooting method. If through balls are too powerful, give us another way to attack, so that you're not facing the same spammy nonsense every game. If step over acceleration is too powerful, then maybe we've got an issue somewhere else. Maybe normal acceleration isn't good enough. Maybe improve your first touches, or do something else. They never take that method. They just get rid of the thing that's working, and they leave us with nothing that works. That's always been my issue in the past. This year, they haven't done that. This year, we've had the one thing that works. You can maybe say 2, because it's been the aerial, crosses and corners and all that. And aside from that, it's either getting to the touchline or just generally down the wing and then performing a couple passes inside and getting a really easy shot because the defensive line doesn't shift over while the ball's being passed inside. And that hasn't been adjusted. Like, the only thing they've adjusted, like, I think they made finesses a little different. They really nerfed Travellis, which I'm kind of fine with, but again, the more methods to score, the better. I don't want one method to be the only way, or, like, by far the best way, in the way that it makes it pretty much worthless to do anything else. What I actually want is several decent to good ways to score. And it's so frustrating that we haven't had a game like that. That's the main thing for me. I don't want finesses to be too powerful. I don't want aerials to be gone. Let me make it clear. I just want them to go from what you face every attack to something you face every 4 attacks or whatever. Like, they can be part of your game. It's fine. And we can talk about exactly how to manage having aerials in your game. You know, do we make them more skill-based or not, or anything like that. But the fact that you face them so frequently in almost every attack, the fact that they're almost always the most worthwhile thing to go for, is what's so frustrating. Just give us another, like, give us other methods to attack, give us other things that are worthwhile, give us other players that are worthwhile to use, give us other formations that are worthwhile to use. I guess that's the other thing here, is just the frustration around everyone using the 4-3-2-1. Why they want it like this, I don't know. I wonder if their argument is just it's working well enough. Like, maybe on their side they've got the metrics, there's enough people on the game, or enough money being generated from the store packs or whatever, that they've just determined it's not worth it to adjust what the meta is to do any more patches for the game. I wonder if this is actually the game they want to create. The thing that was frustrating about Accelerate to me when they came out with Explosive, Controlled, and Lengthy was, it's one thing to look at your game and realize that most people aren't using whatever percentage of your attackers. Like, let's say 50% of attackers are strong, aerial-based, hold-up, target men, strikers, right? It's one thing to look at your players and say, okay, most people in the player base aren't using these players. Let's find a way to make them actually valuable. It's another thing to go, you know how we make them valuable? We make them run faster. Like, that's not what you generate. You make their attacking AI a little different, you make the positioning different, you make strength matter more, make strength a skill-based thing that you can get really good at, be that through the L2 button or adding something else. You can make hold-up play really valuable, you know, getting it forward just to adjust where the where the defensive lines are and then do that little layoff pass backwards. Anything like that. But no, what they determined is, let's make the taller, stronger players who are normally slower in real life, let's make them run faster. That doesn't make any sense to me. And so they had that, and okay, so again, we're getting new types of players involved. But then we've just kept it like that. They haven't had adjustments to the system. They haven't determined, okay, maybe these players are too good now. We haven't had anything like that. So why they want the game like this, all I can imagine is people are scoring goals enough, and I don't know, like, people need some way to score. It might as well be this, I think, has to be one of their arguments. Again, all I'm looking for in this game is, like, several decent ways. I'm frustrated that the only ways I can score are, like, the occasional through ball, but normally getting the ball wide and then passing the ball infield and just kind of scoring with one of my midfielders. Like, these are nice goals, but you never... This one right here with Nay, you never score this kind of thing from the center. So I'm just looking for a game with a wider variety of things to score, more paths, more passing options. Crosses can absolutely be part of it. I'm fine with that. I don't have to engage with that system. If I have to defend it all the time, that's one thing. This from Neymar, ridiculous, by the way. What a power shot. I don't know. I'm always a little bit frustrated, and I guess that comes through when I'm doing post-com. That we just can't have a game where they can develop more valid attacking ways to score. Anyway, I think the final video, unless I get some feedback on this, I think the final video will be more focused on the gameplay itself. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in that next one.